All right, what's going on, everybody? This is Dante. Welcome to Why Date Wednesday. We are here, and we got a new speaker on here today. She's having to pop in. She's been involved with our Why Date group chat for a while. She kind of gets how we roll, how we do things here. I know it's kind of if you guys ever tune into that, it's pretty interesting. So I'll probably ask you that question once I bring you up on here. But so. Go with Killer K, right? Killer K?
Yeah, let's do that.
A-H-K. All right. And we got Aunt Shirley on here. Boom.
Hey
I'm the only guy here, so it's kind of going to be interesting. None of the fellas are on here, but it's okay. It's going to make
Lady
for an interesting...
Yeah.
I may drink a little bit, but not too much. Yeah, not too much. All right. But, all right, I'll get into it. The same thing we always do, recap on the last episode. Boom, because it was an ask me anything kind of thing. We were asking each other anything. And we also got people on the live stream. Thank you for tuning in. But since you weren't on there, Killer K, on the last episode, we really got in some real stuff.
Oh, no.
Some interesting conversations. I'm sure you saw it in our group chat. So, what did we ask? About the sex thing? Well, that was the most...
Yeah, that seemed to have the most impact.
But before I go into it, Killer K, I'm gonna let you just go in here and kind of introduce yourself, a little bit about yourself.
Yeah.
The intro, so people can know who you are before we go into it.
What if I want to stay a secret?
Oh, Sam, Killer K mindset, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So please tell us how you feel. What's your experience with being with the Why Date group chat?
I love it. I feel like everyone has really different perspectives and opinions, and
very different.
But everyone's like really open and like comfortable talking about it, and things get heated a little bit, but it's like it's really cool to hear different perspectives, and like no one takes any offense from it, and it's just really cool. I've never been a part of anything like that. So I think you put yourself in situations where people are a lot similar minded than you, so it's kind of cool to be in a group with a bunch of different people. So I love it.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Appreciate you coming on. Appreciate you able to deal with all the notifications. I always tell people when they come on, like, hey, just so you know, just mute your conversation, just mute it, because you're going to get blown up. It's going to be like 90 notifications of like.
I do mute it, but I love coming back and be like reading it. It's like, yeah.
I always give a warning. Like, God damn it. Like, for me being running the whole, like being involved with that, being, catalyst of that, I can't mute it because I'm like, I have to see what's going on. Like, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. But I try to I'm scared to leave my phone just away for like a day. I don't know what's gonna happen. Like I don't ever want to leave it alone. So appreciate you coming on. So, all right. So why date is a question we always ask all of our new guest speakers. So why date? Why should we date, or why are we dating? Why don't we date more often? What is your answer for that, for why date?
Oh, good question. I think, yeah, if you're single, you should date if you want to, if you're comfortable with it. I think it's a fun way to just like meet people and learn more about yourself and learn more about other people. So I think, yeah, definitely date. That's why.
So you're on the dating. Okay, you want to date. All right.
Oh yeah.
Some people who are against dating. That's what the start of this podcast started with me. All right. Well, you're team date. Okay, I'm team no date. Okay. All right, it's fine. I'm lone wolf.
Your team no date? I didn't know that.
Oh man.
Talk about it.
Yeah, stand alone out here, man. No, I'm just kidding. I just don't believe that. I think it's a challenge for millennials this is why I started the podcast, millennials, to start dating. There's so many different avenues you can go through with dating. I think dating is such a gray area. There's no like black and white version of it. So just it's everyone's opinion on what they think dating is, and just confuses everyone. So I just say, you know what? All right, just you got to kind of be involved and be actually able to understand what you want I don't know.
Definitely.
I haven't dated
Yeah.
since 2007, since Obama was first president. So, I mean, I'm gonna be honest.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah,
Find
yeah.
out something new every day.
07. Yeah. Last time I dated. But okay, we'll continue on with the recap though. So we talked about different things of sexual intercourses.
Well, what it was like women asked men certain questions about dating. Well, first of all, it was very like viewer oriented. And so like women asked men certain questions and men asked women certain questions. We always get into the sex stuff because it's,
We always do.
interesting.
Deed, ass, things like that.
Yeah, but like one of the questions, it's just a thing that happens. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh no. Great.
Welcome to Why Date.
Welcome to Why Day. Do you eat ass? Is probably going to be the question.
Yeah, it's probably be your buzzword question if you say it. And I'll say the buzzwords later what they are after. Yeah, I'll say it right now.
Yeah, maybe this is a good time.
Uncomfortable and awkward buzzwords. So you guys are just not tuning in for the buzzword. The buzzword means if any of us say any of those words, we will be on a hot seat. So we're gonna ask any kind of question from people who are listening in, people who are in our group that's gonna ask any kind of question, personal question, or whether or not it's gonna offend you or not. That doesn't matter because you're in a hot seat.
Yeah.
So don't say those words. I actually said multiple ones last time, which I've never said last podcast. That was a little interesting.
Yeah.
I've never said a buzzword, so that was the only time.
Okay. I want to ask you a question from last week's episode.
No.
Okay.
No. We ain't doing that. What kind of question?
Well, I just wanted to know, like, what makes you feel appreciated during dating? That's unrelated to, like, sex,
Sexual?
right?
I already
Like-
said this, didn't I?
You did, but
You want to hear it again?
yeah. I do. Like, I wanted to know what makes her feel good when she's dating. That's like,
What makes me feel good or makes her feel good?
what makes her feel good?
Oh, I mean, it's...
Like, what do you like to see? Like,
Oh, what I like to see. I mean, home cooked meal, rubbing them feet, things like that.
okay, cool. No judgment. That's cool.
No one's. No, heard crickets.
It makes you feel considered.
It's just the thought that counts. That's all that matters, right? They're putting the effort into this. That's all that matters. Yeah. But Killer K, you can always step in and say, from the last episode, I know you heard from the group messages.
Wait, I might have missed that part.
Uh-oh. All right. Should we? I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of questions we asked, but I don't remember. I have to look up the questions that we had before. Go back. I'll ask her one question, and then we'll just go into this episode. All right.
Oh no.
So, if you are interested in exclusive relationship / casual sex with the woman, when should you tell her? Is that for the guys? Oh no, here we go.
Yeah.
Where okay.
No, you got it. That was right.
That's the one?
So, that's the one.
Okay.
Wait, you're asking me that?
Yeah.
When's like the
Oh, who sits in the front of the car? Your mama or your wife?
Oh yeah, that one. I mean, I always think like the mama's in charge, like she's elder, respect her. But that situation was different because I didn't realize that it was the woman's car. So I don't know. Yeah, you're in a pickle. The man should sit in the back. That's what should happen.
yeah. Great answer.
I agree. Great answer. Okay. All right. Well, we'll move on to this episode. This one's going to be called, we're actually giving out first date dating tips for an etiquette. Okay. So since nobody can really understand how to do first date etiquette, we're going to talk about it. All right. Because it seems like that's been a question we've heard a lot and people are having issues with, like who should pay, who should not pay, it's okay to show up late, like, where to pick places. So I actually wanted, since we got women here, actually, it makes it a little easier. And everyone who's ever tuning in on the live stream, feel free to ask questions about etiquette and first date. Or if you guys have any tips to provide, please feel free to throw that in there. But let's get into it right now.
Okay.
Oh, Arthur's here. Okay, what's up, Arthur? All right. He's Facebook. All right, so talking points. Women's etiquette dates 1 through 5. This guy is so detail oriented. Anyways, all right. So in 2020, I could ask you women that. In 2020, since 2020's been a crazy year, should men still pay for first dates? That is something I want to open it up with. Because everyone wants to be independent. Women want to be independent. They're okay, but I want to know.
I think for the very first date, yes. I think you want to make a good impression. And so I know there are certain rules, right? Like if you are the one who initiates the date, then you're kind of responsible for like how, you know, who's paying, et cetera, et cetera. But in my opinion, I guess I'm kind of traditional with this. If the man is asking, he should definitely pay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's just kind of like how the like I don't know, the rules or whatever have been. Personally, I never expect anyone to pay for me on the first date, but if they do, I'm like, oh my God, they're so sweet, like bonus points for them. I'll expect to pay for myself. But I think yeah, that's just kind of traditionally how it is. But if they try to make you pay on the first date, because I've had that happen. I'm like, what? And they also made me pick where to go and everything. I'm like, okay, red flag.
Dang. He made you pick where to go, and then you end up paying for it. That's so crazy.
Well, yeah.
Well, okay, so like let's say like a deal breaker. If a guy says, "Hey, let's split the check," you're like, "Oh, I'm done with him." Like, is that what?
No.
Okay, so okay.
No, I'm down to split it. Yeah.
Because people like to wine and dine the expensive places these days. Especially the expensive places are going to be more open around this time. So you're like, "Ooh, you want to go there?" Like, but okay. I mean, I guess that's okay. But like, you initially you want to like watch to see if he's going to pay for you. Like when a bill comes up, is that where you test his ability?
Well, usually I'll see like I'll say that I'll pay. Like I'll get my card to pay for my drink, and then if they usually like say no, that they got it, and then I'm like that was really sweet or whatever. Like I'll get the next one, but usually they don't let me pay.
Okay, you got some good.
But I think I'm different than a lot of like I've never asked for someone to buy me a drink or anything. So
yeah.
But what? So drinks are a little different. The people are a little bit more I don't know, choosy of liquor, and they want to pick the most expensive. And some people can drink a lot. There's some women I went on dates with. They can drink like a lot. Oh, I can go a couple more rounds. I was like, how much is that? And I have to kind of change it. Like, oh, let's go somewhere else. I'm kind of, little buzz. Let's go, somewhere else. Like, oh, I'm fine. Damn. All right, I gotta keep this in mind. Never go to a bar again with women who can outdrink you. Okay. Well, I mean, that's good to know. I mean, personally, yes, if I pick on the first day, I usually do that. Especially in those situations where you have the bill and you're looking at them. It's one of those moments. Like, I'm not gonna say the buzzword, but it's one of those moments you look, you're like, damn, what she want me to do? She wants me to pay her. Because I honestly, like, I just go and like, I actually do it in a conversation where I'm just like, oh yeah, it's cool. And I grab the check and just put my card down and look at the bill.
Ooh, smooth.
All right.
Yeah.
When you don't look at the bill, they're like, oh, you don't even know how much it was. I look at my and I'm like, damn. Should have looked at it. No, I'm just kidding. But no, it does happen. Like I do it so smoothly. I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like, right. I do that for the first day, but I think like once they see some women I go with, they're like, oh, I feel so bad you paid this much for it. Like I'll get you next time. Like, oh, it's cool. So that's good to see that there's still hope that women can pay their own meals. There's some women who just go for the meal. I know a couple of my friends or girls like, oh, I want to do the pay me out, do this stuff for me. I'm like, damn, you're shady.
Red flag.
Right?
Big red flag. It's the kind of sucks.
All right. So thoughts on kissing and sex on the first date? Home base? No? Doesn't make sense. Not like the movies where you take them to the house.
I think do whatever you feel comfortable with. Yeah.
I mean, I was watching Blind Dates, and it's kind of interesting because they take them back home, and they like one girl's like, "Oh, it's okay, I can just walk from here." Like, "Oh, days, it's it for him. He doesn't keep walking the streets of New York like at dark. Doesn't even want to go with this guy. Oh, man, that's a problem. Like, you messed up, right?" I usually get the go ahead, like, "Oh yeah, it's fine, right?" I wait for them to gauge for it. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
Or
I
you meet them?
definitely
Yeah.
sure.
So what's the thoughts on that? Like, do you guys kiss them and have sex on the first? You went from kissing to having sex. Those are like two different things. You can kiss someone on the cheek. Oh, nice, have a nice day. But sex is like, yo, you're jumping to right to home base. Is it the liquor that kicks in, or is it just the mode, the vibe? What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think if you're like into it and you're into the date and you feel comfortable, go for it. But I've definitely been told by like friends and family like to hold off and to not do that if you want to be a lady or like have them respect you, to not do that. And I'm just like, I mean, if that's what you feel comfortable doing, go ahead and do it. But I think definitely don't expect it for like the full thing. And that goes for ladies too, because I've had experience recently where the date was going perfect and I kind of was like, oh yeah, like I get to say like, yeah, we're in or whatever. And he was like, no, I really like you. Like, let's hold off for a second date. And I was like, well, oh, like, yeah, you shouldn't go into something like expecting it. And like, it's consent from both sides.
Yeah, a guy said that. Like, oh, just wait.
Yeah, and I was like that's never happened to me before. So
what?
Not expecting it.
Is hell frozen over? What's
No, he was actually nice because I was like, wow, like you like me, like cool, but yeah, it was a little mind trip. I was like, okay,
you go on a second
women
date?
don't always have the power. It's both.
Did you go on a second date?
We're going to.
Oh, it happened recently.
Yeah, it happened recently.
Oh shoot. Okay.
I hope he's not watching.
Continue. If he landed on the second day, I think he's good now. You gave the okay for the first date, but now you're like,
yeah,
okay,
we're in the clear.
I'll wait. I slid on third base. You know, it's all right. That's funny. Okay, well, keep us updated. Keep us updated. We want to know. Okay, so what about you, Shirley? What do you think about that? Thoughts on?
I totally agree with Killa K. Like, you should just go with how you feel in the moment. But I think for me personally, like, I think it just starts with like what my intent is. And like when it comes to sex, like I don't know why, but I feel like it's something I have to prepare for. So like if we're just gonna like do it, then that means I have this expectation already that like this is how we're gonna spend our time together, blah blah blah, whatever.
Yeah.
So like so there's that case, but in general, like if it's the first date, you kind of want to see if there's even chemistry, right, with that person. And if there is, like, I think making out might be okay. But sex on the first date definitely depends on like what my expectations were. Like if I already saw him as like quote unquote a hookup, then yeah, I'm probably gonna be very vocal about that happening too.
I'm so curious, like,
yeah,
of how women give that go ahead to like have sex with them. Like I don't know, like I don't know women, like what kind of vibe you women throw out there, because sometimes guys typically misread something. They're like, oh, all right, because making out could lead to something else, and they're thinking like, oh man, this is it, like this is happening. I can't just, you know what I mean?
But it could just be I'm enjoying the moment. Like this is fun.
Okay.
So like yeah, I know what you mean for sure. Like
we're in this time where people are like, oh yeah, all right, yeah. Because guys, blue balls, we call those blue balls, and we're sitting there like, damn, I could have. She didn't give me a go ahead. Like, what signs do you guys give out? You guys like?
Okay, but sometimes women get that too.
Really?
Get the go ahead.
Facts.
I'm curious though. Like, how do you know? Like, do you just go, like, you want to have sex? Like, you don't ask that question. You just kind of.
That's what I had to ask, because I was like, so.
I love that.
It's just like, oh, you can always go to my place and watch. Okay, all right. She's giving it a go. Like, usually what I go with, like, oh yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Like, or the conversation you have where it's after you guys are sitting there. Oh well, I guess that's it, huh? Right? The dinner. Oh well, there's other things, right? I think the sign you really can tell is if they're like want to do something else after, or they want to go home. I think that's the sign. That's the only sign I can really tell. Like, okay, like, oh, I can see you later. Like, oh, okay, right? That means that's not gonna happen. I gotta build my rapport. But they're like, oh, so what is else there to do? So that's the only sign I can pick off. If I'm wrong, you feel free to step in, ladies. But that was usually when they were like waiting for you to figure out what you want to do after, and they still want to be around you.
Yeah, I agree. That's
right?
definitely that's a big green flag. if she's like, okay, it's like 1 o'clock, like,
It's 1 a.m. I don't have work tomorrow.
Yeah. If I like, I'll invite them over. I'll be like, come hang out at my house.
Yeah.
Dang, she's straightforward. See, most girls don't like that. They just go like, "Oh yeah, I don't have nothing to do. I don't have work tomorrow."
You wanna give out the hint, but you don't want to be like too forward, and then he starts thinking like, well, she gets to what? Like, why is she so forward about this?
Forward. I don't like that. Guys like a girl that's forward. I mean, I do. If they're really forward, I mean, this saves us a whole bunch of BS we got to deal with later.
Yeah.
But I mean, my thoughts on it's like I said, like what you guys said. It's if it happens, it happens. If the vibe is right, the mood is right. Full moon.
Well, I was just thinking that.
The stars are aligning with your zodiac sign. Everything's working out. You're like, oh man, this is it.
The moon's just right.
Everything's in line with my my sign tonight. All right. All right. Red flags on first dates. I know everyone has them. Everyone has a red flag. Curious what the women think was a red flag. Because I've done a lot of red flags. I felt like there was a time where I was late. Girl was like, oh, this is not going to work out. You're late. I like someone in a timely manner. I'm like, okay, I get that. Maybe I was at that time I was upset. I was like, man, what? 5 minutes? But whatever. Everyone has their own red flags. What's your top 5 red flags, Killer K?
So I've had this happen to me multiple times where guys will get other girls' numbers or hit on other girls on our first date.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Talk about it. How'd you feel? Is that okay?
You know what? I didn't get upset about it, and I actually didn't tell them that I knew, because most of the situations were actually, all 3 of them were kind of parties, so it was like casual. So they didn't know that I had seen it. And one with my friends were there, and they're like, why aren't you upset about this? I'm like, I'm not really interested anymore. Like, it was a turn off, but like I wasn't upset. And then one of the guys actually left with another girl and then tried hitting me up later. And then I was like, no.
Thanks. Not
like I wasn't mean or anything, but it's just like that's a turn off red flag.
Yeah, it doesn't really speak well of him, does it?
Hey, she didn't see that, right?
It was right. One of them was right behind me, and I literally just turned around like, "Oh my god, you think you're so sly?"
Yikes!
Oh, she's on her phone. Let me just.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah. So that's one. Another one.
And our assholes.
And that's happened to a lot of my friends too. And I'm like, dang, like, is this a millennial thing? I don't know.
Men are such.
Yeah. So that's one. I think 2, another one is if the dude's on his phone the whole time, like constantly texting or on Instagram. I'm like, why are you even here?
Before you go on, okay, let's say it's hard to stop you right there. Okay. Now let's say like maybe he lets you, if he lets you know something that's going on with his phone, like, I have a sick grandma, I'm just checking up, like this is what's going on, our work, would you still allow that? Is that still a red flag even though he let you know?
Well, I'd be like, do you need to go see them? Like, we can hang out another time.
Oh no, I want to hang out with you. I want to be with you,
Well, if it's a first date, then I don't know.
Okay, well,
I'm like, I don't know. People sometimes say some crazy stories. So it's not that I wouldn't believe it, but it's just like if someone's really sick or ill, like go be with them. We can hang out another time. So, don't be on your phone the whole time.
Like, well, my grandma's all the way in Guam, so I got to make sure I'm checking in, tapping in.
And it's still a red flag because then that means like they'll probably be like that the whole relationship.
Dang. You're so deep, man. So, well, if he's gonna have issues with him, be on his phone with that. Okay.
Okay, so that was number 2. Number 3, if they're rude to like if you're at a restaurant, they're rude to waiters or bartenders or anyone, that's a big sign.
Dang.
Red flag.
Yeah. Treating humans the wrong way, that's not right.
Yeah. I wrote a couple down. Another red flag, if they want you to meet straight at their house. I've heard
Yeah,
some
that's
pretty,
a good one.
That happens? Damn.
yeah, that's happened to a bunch of my friends, and yeah, sketchy.
It's like a sketchy
Uh,
neighborhood too, because you can look it up on Google what neighborhood it looks like. I'm like, ugh.
yeah,
Dang, it's like a little sketchy environment, alleyway.
yeah. And I think the fifth one would be like if they on the first day, if they just kind of start talking like negative or talking shit about their ex or anyone, like if they go in deep detail of it, I'm like, do you really need to be saying all this right now?
Well, glad you're not like
Because
her.
we can all probably say some stuff about our exes, but it's like, yeah, I don't know.
I typically don't disclose that either.
Yeah, right. It's
I'm like, oh,
not something you want to share with someone that you just met.
Yeah.
that makes sense. I mean, I do tell them like, hey, I haven't dated since like Obama was like president, so right. They're like, oh, he's a fuck boy. Anyways, so okay, that was your top 4 or top 5? I feel like you missed.
That was 5.
5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
What was it? Hitting on someone, being on your phone, being rude to waiters. What was the fourth one I said? Oh, meet at their house, and then the last one. Oh, can I say one more actually?
Yeah,
that's happened.
Yeah.
They show up drunk. It's happened to me multiple times.
I was just gonna say that one.
Oh, sorry, still yours. Okay,
No,
I just said 6. So you go.
No, explain it. No, explain it.
Well, yeah, it's happened multiple times. Like they just show up so drunk, and then they're like get handsy and like it's just weird. And I'm like, we're going to get drinks. Why are you already wasted?
Yeah, the party's here. What do you mean?
Yeah, I don't know. Just a turn off.
What if he's shy? What if he likes, he doesn't. Maybe
those guys that did that didn't seem shy.
If he's a little nervous, he's like, oh, I got to drink a little bit, get a little buzz, and make sure I can be entertaining. Some guys.
Well, there's difference than like having a couple drinks and then being like hammered.
Oh, he's like throwing up, like, hey, what's going on?
Like he was really, yeah.
What's going on? You ready to go? He's not even dressed up. Got like a wrinkled shirt, like.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay. All right. Those are
really solid ones.
All right, those are solid. What about you, Sure.
Okay, this is weird, but I always go based off like how I'm feeling. So if we're driving in a car and he's like super aggressive, like a really aggressive driver, like cutting people off, speeding, if I tell him like I'm really uncomfortable and he doesn't like listen to me, that's like a major red flag, because to me that tells me you don't really care about my comfort.
And safety.
And safety, right. Exactly. Another major red flag for me would be like escalation too quickly. Like if we're going to an event and we're supposed to be at this event and we've only been there for 15 minutes and you're like ready to go and we just got here and you're trying to like move to the next place away from other people, I think that's a major red flag too. I think when you're dating, like you want to have like a natural progression, like that's consensual. But when it's like super forced and like, yeah, like things are just moving too fast too soon and you feel uncomfortable, that's like been one of the main determinants that I'm not going to ever talk to this guy again. What else? If he doesn't do the kind of like, oh, let me get it, like that awkward, that little, no, wait, I didn't say it. You said it.
Buzzword. I wish I had like a buzz thing, like.
Every episode, though.
Boom. All right, 3
I
questions.
think you picked that buzzword too.
Wow. Of course.
All right, Killer K, what you got? Any question?
Okay.
Anyone can time in
I'm
if they
so
want.
disappointed in myself.
I don't know. I feel like I'm not going to be good at a question because I don't.
No, you're great. Ask anything.
Okay.
I feel like someone said the other buzzword too, but I may have missed that.
Okay, well then, speaking of buzzword, what is the most, I'm not going to say it, but like embarrassing or blank moment that you've had on a date?
Ooh, I would say, wait, the most awkward and embarrassing moment for me or for him?
Either.
Okay. I would say maybe the like awkward little expectation that we were going to like kiss at the end of the date, but I definitely didn't want to kiss him at the end of the date. I don't know. Have you ever been in that situation where like it's like the end of the night and you're tired and you just want to go home, but you feel kind of like, I don't know, you can sense the energy in the air that he's like, so. And like I've gone on this date with this guy. He had dropped me off back at my house. We're just like doing like small talk, and he goes into like, he's like, I think we're going in for a hug. So I'm going in to like hug him, and he's like, and here's the thing, another thing random, I have a pet peeve about like dry lips and like crusty lips, and so that's why I wasn't interested in him throughout the date. He goes in, like we're going in for the hug, and I'm gonna do him like the church hug, like that was fun, right? And he's going in for like the the direct like kiss to my face, and I like do this like whoa, like like in his face, like the what do you think you're doing, right? And yeah, that was awkward.
You know, a tip to get out of that, and what I usually do is I just jump the hug, like I do it first, and I'm pretty fast about like, okay, thanks, that was so much fun, and then like by the time I'm already done, they're like, oh, okay, bye, and like it's too late for them to try.
Yeah.
So just jump on it first and just be hella like casual about it.
That's a good pro tip. That's a good pro tip.
I do it often.
Guys taking notes of that? You guys, fellas,
Yeah.
out there who's tuning in? Got caught on? All right. Okay. So we had a question. Someone said, name the persons that you've been your worst dates. Name them. Wow.
No names.
Someone
But
said,
if he's watching, he knows who he is.
Look, boo, you need some Carmex or chapstick. Both laugh. All the jump. All right. What question I have for Aunt Shirley? It's a good one. Since they're not on here, I'm good at asking the questions. It usually just comes up to the top of my head. Okay, I'll just use the questions from here. Would you tell someone why you wouldn't go out with them again?
I definitely would.
How would you tell them,
Huh?
How would you tell them? Like, would you ghost them, or would you be like,
So I would probably text them and be like, I actually didn't have a good time. No, this is what I would actually have. I have a script almost. Like I don't want to hurt their feelings, but I also want to be like honest, right? So I would say I'd probably preface it with something like thanks for coming out, but I didn't have a good time. And like maybe we can be friends and just like end it there. Me personally, like I hate ghosting. I think it's a really like avoidant way we deal with problems in our culture. So like away. Yeah, like don't run away. Be an adult. You can use your words. You're not gonna get in trouble. So ghosting people, I think it's just like really tacky, unless it's like an abusive situation, like absolutely for your own safety, ghost. But like if you can't tell someone like I didn't like hanging out with you, then like you probably shouldn't be dating because you're gonna hurt people out there. I mean, that's just me. Like I would be very transparent, I think, just to like avoid wasting time.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Is that music back there? I heard some music. I don't know. What's your worst queef story with a guy? Queef? That makes sense? No? Someone asked. No? Oh, here we go. What's the most negative reaction when you tell him it won't work out? The most negative reaction.
The most negative would be, so I communicated this and then he wouldn't like let it go. I had told him like I didn't have a good time, but like I hope we can be friends. And he was like asking me questions like, wait, why wasn't it a good time? Like what didn't you like? I thought we had a really good time, right? And I felt really awkward, so I stopped texting him for about 2 weeks. And then he like popped up again, like asking me more questions about why our date wasn't successful. So at that point I just blocked him. Because I already
what if he just wanted to know so he can learn for the next dates, you know?
I mean, I felt like I was really like thorough in my reasoning in the first text. I mean, like, yeah, he may have, like, you're right. He may have like wanted more information. But I don't know. I felt like it was just getting to the point of like too much.
I mean, you're not obligated to give them that kind of information, which is something we all have to kind of understand. You're not obligated to tell someone why you're not interested in them, right?
Right.
So we have to kind of keep that in mind. We would love to have that, but if they don't want to say it, or I'm really interested, I go, okay. Like, I typically don't. At least they gave me that instead of ghosting me. I rather ghosting. Ghosting is like me not catching the hint, and they're going like, "Oh, didn't you catch my signs? I didn't respond to your text message." I'm like, how am I fucking supposed to know that? Because I won't know. I'm thinking, oh, she's probably at work, probably busy at the moment. I won't know that they aren't interested, right? So that's always been a big thing. Let's say I'm not interested. Okay, all right. You know, if you want to tell me that, that's cool, but like, you're not obligated to. I would like to know because I can know in the future what not to do and take note of it. But if they don't want to say it, it's fine because it helps me in the future knowing, okay, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? What came across? So it's good to kind of get that. I think a lot of people just you're not obligated to tell them, but at least if they decide to take it and run with it and actually do something differently in the next relationship or next date, that can help them. But if not, then if you don't tell them that, they're going to be like continue doing it. I mean, I don't know. That's how I feel because like if no one tells me, I'm like I won't know. And like sometimes I learn from and I learned from it. And I took from experience from it because some girls tell me something. I was like, okay, all right. And I learned from it and I just never did it again. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
I did it. So, I mean, I chalk up as learning experience, but most people who typically ghost, they think that we're going to get the clue. Most guys aren't going to get the clue because we're going to continuously messaging. And then also I can even talk about the friend zoning thing, being friends with somebody. Okay. I was actually legitimately, okay, let's be friends. Like I invited them out to a couple events, a couple of friends. They still got mad at me for being their friend, which kind of threw me off. I was like, well, didn't you get the clue that I'm not interested? I'm like, it's fine. You don't have to be interested. We're going out. I'm not doing you and I'm inviting you out to.
Oh, they thought that you were still trying to date when you were being a friend.
I'm inviting you out to like, not just you and I, but I'm inviting you out to certain events where there's people. So I know you like this kind of music, you like this kind of environment. That's what I invited you out to. And they like got so pissy with me. Like, did you understand? Like, I friend zoned you. So like, keep it moving, right? I'm like, what?
Well, then she probably was being nice and saying friend zone.
Yeah,
when really
so
she just
how am I supposed to read that? How am I supposed to read that?
Yeah,
she wasn't being, she wasn't explaining it. She was
like, oh, friend zone means to us in our generation that it's a rejection. You move on. You're not supposed to be their friend. I guess like that's the thing I don't understand. And this is why I don't do the dating thing. Because like, yo, like if you don't want to be a friend, then don't say it. You don't need to be nice to me. We fake being nice in customer service because I worked in customer service my whole life. If someone says, you piece of shit, I go, oh, well, have a nice day, right? But I don't really want them to have a nice day. Like, we fake that because we deal with that on a daily basis. If you guys ever work customer service, that's what we do. You don't need to do that in a dating relationship. You don't need to do cordial or be, like, nice. I feel like you don't need to be because you're not going to see that person again. So why do you need to, you know what I mean? You're not owing them a favor to be nice. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, that does make sense.
But people do it all the time. I don't get it. So I'm like, oh, okay, you want to be friends? Yeah, it's fine. I'm okay with it. I got a lot of friends who are girls. I'm okay with it. Right? But, guess not. Joke's on me. But, someone asked a question. Shake my head. That means she don't want anything to do with you. It's like friends. It's like y'all hang out and not, I don't want to say that word. She said a buzzword. I'm not going to say the buzzword. But I know what you mean, Jenny. I get it. Respect the comments. Okay. So you're off the hot seat now. You're good. Actually, I might do another episode on friend zoning.
Friend zoning? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm speaking to the guys who are out there who don't get it. Like what women throw out there. And because it makes it so much easier if you just say, hey, look, dude, your breath stink. All right, you want to know? You want to know why? Like, they're like, oh, okay. They're gonna wear Tic Tac next time. Like, oh man, I should have known, right? Damn, right? And if they take it and run with it and don't do it, at least give them that option to help them out in the future. I mean, I'm always giving that kind of honest criticism.
Yeah.
I critique people all the time, so. Yeah, she don't want anything to do with me. She just told me that. She should have just told me she didn't have anything to do with me. I agree. She should have just said that. But
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So you gonna say something?
I just think it would be such a good episode for women to like learn how to be more explicit. Like
because we're
not having to be nice all the time.
Yeah. We just want the blunt truth. Like I think guys will be okay with you telling them that you don't like them. We're okay with it. There's way worse things in life that we got to deal with. Guys get rejected, God knows how many times, right? Off the top of our head, we can get a whole like Bible of how many times guys get rejected. Okay, so segment 2, we're gonna talk about men's etiquette. I guess I'm the only man here. Okay, hold on, I have a question. How soon do you guys have the let's be exclusive talk? After how many dates or after how much time? Okay. I'll ask that question, Jasmine, when you get to it. Actually, you know what? Let's ask that question. Let's be exclusive talk. I don't really believe in exclusive. That actually ruined one of my relationships because I didn't understand what exclusive talk was. But I like to know what you guys take on that. After how many dates or after how much time do you actually say, let's be exclusive?
It just depends. Yeah, it's like it's different every single relationship I've been in. It's just kind of like depends how deep you guys connect and how fast. One time, one of my relationships, and it was really a really healthy one that was like for 3 years, and we're still friends. We were just kind of like non-exclusive for like 6 months or so, and then finally we're like, we're dating, right? Like I think he was like, you're my girlfriend, right? I'm like, yeah. Like it was just kind of easy. Like we didn't even need to have the talk.
Yeah.
But it's different. Every relationship's different.
How long was it for you? When was it for you?
Sorry.
How long did that take for you?
That time I think was like 6 months, but sometimes it's been sooner, sometimes longer. It's just like, I don't know. It depends on like if it's just a casual thing or if it's like someone you have a really deep connection with, and like it has to be on both sides too. Yeah, so it just depends. There's not really a number or date that you can put on it, I don't think.
I agree. Yeah, it really depends on the situation, how well you do it, how well you communicate that. Things are working really good. You might want to move into that situation. I agree. And Shirley, you want to top? You agree?
Yeah. Yes, I agree. I agree with everyone.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna put you guys all on blast. Okay. All right. Talking points for men's etiquette. Thoughts on knocking as opposed to I'm here. Texts, opening doors, and pulling out chairs.
Yeah. I mean, I know some women really like the chivalry, like I've come to your door and I'm here to present myself to you thing.
Oh, so I get it. So knocking on the girl's door, don't worry, like okay,
yeah.
All right. It takes I'm here. Okay. I was like, okay, all right.
Like I'm outside, right? Like
I'm here.
Yeah.
I like when they let me know like 5 minutes ahead of time, text, so then I can like get everything ready, let my housemates know. I like knowing ahead of time. Like, okay. I'll get my playlist started.
Because I think like, in a sense, I think we all, I've naturally open up doors for people when I see someone behind me. So like, that's not a hard thing for me to do. Me in my car, it's like, I want to open the door anyway. If I'm there, like, oh, here you go. But like, I always tell them, don't get used to it though. Don't get used to it.
Yeah.
I don't want them thinking, expecting, oh, he's a really nice guy. Nah. Boom. Oh, yeah. Chivalry is good. I mean, it hasn't died off. People think it died off. I think people just, we got to the point where like, do I need to do it? It's like a thing you want to do it or you don't want to do it. He said, no, you don't. No, I was the only one laughing at it. Someone's the only one laughing at what I do. No, that's hey.
Well,
But
it's
I
a
do
good,
pull out chairs though. I mean, pull out chairs. I don't think I've ever done. I think it's kind of like chairs mostly are pulled out sometimes. You know what I mean? Like I don't. Sometimes they just open it up for you. Sometimes the waiter does it for you. Oh, here you go. Oh, thanks. Did that for me. All right. Gracias. Like, you know what I mean? Like, cool. Right? Yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I mean, I'm here, like, it's tricky, man. In these times, like, if you're like out in the city, you know how hard it is to find parking. You gotta park on yonder, and when you park too far, the girl's gonna complain like, you parked all the way there. I'm like, yeah, because there's literally no parking in this area. Like, I walked to your door, and I'm trying to like be the nice guy here. You know what I mean? Like, someone black here, but like, shoot your shot first time. Dante laughs at his own jokes. Yeah, I do. Oh man, I'm getting roasted on here, man. No one's letting me live out here. All right. But yeah, my thoughts on this kind of weird. So how much is it too much to spend on the first date?
First date. Too much money. Maybe like over $100. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like as long as you're trying to build a connection with someone, you can do that. Like, you can do that really anywhere. You can do it over coffee. You could do it like at a park. You can do it literally anywhere, right? So I don't know if it's as much. I don't know if it's about as much money does the person spend as much as like how much effort or consideration do they put in to like build the connection, because there are guys out there who can afford to like spend $200, and if you've never seen anyone spend $200 on a first date, you might read that as like, wow, right? That's not always the case. That isn't always the case. So like a really good determination is like, how much is he investing in terms of like time or consideration or something of that extent. So I don't know if money is like the actual way you can like determine like how good or how much he really cares about like the first date. So I guess I'd say anything more than $100 would make me really uncomfortable. Like I'd get anxious. I'd be like, what are you expecting? Like, yeah, that's how it'd feel.
You do that glance with the bill, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. I don't want to feel like I owe you anything.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And most guys kind of expect. I mean, some guys, not all, they do expect something from all that.
I paid $250 for this dinner. Like, what do you mean? You're just going home.
You're not gonna show me.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? Like, not one single one. Like,
yeah. No, that would make me feel very uncomfortable. I would start to feel. I would honestly feel anxious. I'd probably like try to pay, just so it would feel like less pressury. But yeah.
All right. Well, what about you, Killer K?
I think I just completely agree with you.
Yeah.
Like anything above 100 make me feel uncomfortable. Or if guys are even like on dating apps and stuff, like I can buy you whatever you want. I'm like, that's not what I want. Like no. Yeah. So yeah, I think I agree with you.
Kylie said, "And Shirley, move your plant."
Like move it? Like
I think because it's in your face.
Of you. Yeah, we're trying to see your
Thank you, Kylie. I love you. Better?
We got a
yeah, that's good.
From someone. Okay. How do you gauge an investment of time and effort? What's too much effort and what's too little?
Okay, so like if you're like I assume you've been texting with this person throughout the week. So like if you know they're really excited about meteor showers, right? Like you know they're like a science freak. If you like investigate and find out like, when will there be like the brightest stars shining in the sky, right? And you invite them to this like astrological event to watch the stars fall, and like you plan like bringing like little sandwiches or like hot chocolate. I don't know. It's not a lot of money. Just think about it. Just think of the other person and like what they would like. And I think that would have like major impact. Or if they're like a really big music fan or something.
Okay.
It's really about like learning the person and like trying to meet their need. It doesn't really require a lot of money. Like if, like if they're a nature person, go on a hike with them. That's considerate. Like, I think a lot of times we try to think we can just like buy people, right? Or like we don't have to do the work of actually like dating. But that's part of it, is like really learning that person. So that's my answer.
Killer K, what you got?
What do you got?
I mean, I agree with you on the effort part, definitely. Like putting effort in towards learning about someone and their needs, and but definitely for too little effort, it's something I've experienced a lot, is like when you're talking to someone on like a dating app or something, and then finally you guys like set up time to meet like later in the week or whatever. Usually they won't pick the spot, and then so I'll have to pick something, and then they'll just, once we pick a date and time, they'll stop talking to me through the whole entire week. And then like till the day of, and like I kind of like I tried, because it happens so often that I try to wait to see if they'll message me and be like, hey, like, is the date still on? And a lot of times they don't, and then I'll be like, so are we still doing this? Like, you haven't talked to me all week. So that's too little effort.
Yeah, definitely. Yikes. And so can I ask you a follow-up question? So like, what's your impression of that person when you finally meet?
So sometimes I like to, sometimes I'll just wait, and sometimes I won't hit them up the day of to see if they will, and they won't hit me up at all, and then it won't happen. Like, it's just a complete ghost. And then sometimes I still will give the benefit of doubt, and then we'll be like, hey, are we still meeting? And then we do. And then usually, actually, I think every single time those people showed way more red flags during the day. I was like, I should have seen it all. One of them was the guy that showed up drunk. So I'm like, there's another red flag, yeah.
Oh man, that's the guy showed up drunk. Well, hopefully, you guys are taking notes of this. Guys who like to drink, drunk.
Just wait till we meet up and we can drink together.
Yeah, then you can figure that out. But if you're there before the party, so the party's here. What do you mean? The comments are here. I'm like laughing. I'm dying. Okay.
Oh, share with us.
So Relio said, "Yeah, man, that OCD was kind of kicking me for that plant. I was gonna report you. He was gonna report you for it." Someone said my eye was twitching watching that plant hit you. Another person commented, said, thoughtful, beats out extravagant. So thoughtfulness beats out extravagant.
Yeah.
It's thought that counts. I experienced ghosting a lot. It's simple. First date should be simple. Then from there, once they get a vibe of the person, do more of what they might like, building that rapport. I agree. I feel like I'm closer to Casper than the person I'm actually dating. Stupid. Yo, man, you're killing me. This man, he's on a roll today. He's making the comments lit right now. He said he goes. Oh man, okay. So, all right. So my next question I want to ask. Okay. What do you do if she always shows late to dates?
Yikes. I want to hear your guys' opinion on this, because I
really don't care. I mean, honestly,
I'm late a lot.
If that's something that's gonna, you're not going for a job. Like, you're not working a job where you got to show up on time all the time. Like, I'm usually like, okay, well, shit happens. You got to get yourself together. Most people take a little longer to get ready. I get it. Like, unless you're like, say like, hey, traffic, or, things happen. I normally don't trip about that, because I really just sit to myself and I'm like, okay, I'll wait. Whatever. I'm very patient.
But that's if they let you know ahead of time, right?
Yeah, like, hey, I'm
letting you know.
They do it all the time. Like, you do it all the time. You're always late. That's just like, it's whatever. Then you expect it from someone. And actually, the person who's on here commenting, she's always late. I'm gonna say it to her face, because she knows who she is. I'm not gonna say her name, but she's always late. But we appreciate her for being there. All right. It's kind of a normal habit that people are like, people show up late. It's like, whatever. I think that that's something that's going to stir you away from somebody. Then like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I feel like people are just too pressed for time, and I get like it's your time. I get that you're wasting your time. You're being there. You're wasting like 20, 30 minutes extra. I get that. I understand why people don't pursue it, but it's just like, to me, it's just whatever. I mean, as long as they're here. She said, shut up. I'm not going to say who. She said it. Hey, you put yourself on there. I didn't say it. Fashionably late.
I agree with that. But at the same time, like, I think there might be like a place where it's like too much, like you're waiting too long for the person. Like you guys agreed to meet at 10 and then they show up at like 11:55. Like that's
I've showed up 3 hours late once. Good job.
What? Sorry. Wait, what? Can you tell us the story?
It actually, okay.
Uh-oh.
So,
oh my God, I love it.
Okay. It was the beginning of quarantine. I wanted to get an inflatable pool. And so I had let him know beforehand that I was planning on doing that. And then that I would be in his area because I'm picking up the only one that's available. And then I had to wait in Walmart. There was a line, like, because, how things are. And so that made me late like an hour. And then I forgot I had a virtual dance class before. So that made me late an hour late. But I was letting him know the whole time.
Okay.
And then when I got to Walmart, the line was so big, they had already sold my pool.
Oh no!
And then I let him know, and he was super sweet about the whole thing. And we were supposed to go on a hike, but then by the time I got there, it was like the sun had like already not went down, but it was like cloudy and kind of rainy. But then we went on a hike anyways, and it started raining, and it was so much fun. Yeah, and he didn't care that I was late.
Yeah, most people flip by like, you're late. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? Things happen.
That's such a green flag to be flexible like that.
And that's what I think. Yeah. Like, I'm always flexible. Yeah.
But you know what's crazy about that? I think when you don't like complain about it or trip out about it, yeah, you can have, I think someone mentioned that you could have that conversation with them. However, in that sense, you could joke with it, like, "Hey, man, you're always late." And I think at that time in their mind, they think like, "Damn, they really think me as an always late person. Maybe I should just change." I give them that kind of opportunity because you know what, people. I'm looking for people who improve. If they're improving and getting better and better, I like to see that. I like to see improvement. Like, yo, like you've been coming in like on time. Like that's what's up. Like, you know what I mean? So I think people are like, "Oh, get out of here." I think time management is something you can work on. Everything else besides personality, who you are. Time management, I think, is the only thing you can really work on. I think we can all get better at it. Maybe that's something that's why I don't trip out too much about. I think we can all get better at it.
Yeah, I agree.
You love a fix-upper. I do like a fixer-upper.
He's a very good.
I like to see like, yeah, man, you definitely changed. You got so much better. Okay, so we got like 2 minutes left. I think we have 2 minutes left of our live. However, we're gonna do the post episode. So I'll start it off with if you guys have any things you want to say. We didn't even get to all the stuff we didn't even get to. So we'll do that in the post episode.
Yeah.
If you guys are all tuning in. I also have a couple that's coming on. They're going to be a boyfriend, girlfriend. See, my live stream just ended. So I'm going to do that. And then we're going to jump into the post episode. I'll invite them in and we'll just have a talk with them. And we can ask them some of these questions too. I like to actually hear their first date experience too.
Yeah.
So you guys, anything you want to say? Anything?
No, that was fun. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, live stream
ended. Out there, guys.
But we'll do the post episode, guys. So appreciate you guys coming on, and we'll see you guys next time. If you guys aren't tuning in our post episode, I recommend it. Being a Patreon subscriber. Anyways, all right. But that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much. See you guys next episode. All right.
Bye.
Take it easy.
Bye.
Hello, friends. This is Dante from the Why Day Podcast. Thank you for tuning in onto our episode. And just wanted to give you guys some updates. I know I usually do this at the end of my episodes. I'm doing a little update. So we do still have Patreon website. I've been putting exclusive content on there. I haven't put any dating coaches or advice or anything like that yet. I'm still working on that. But if you still want to donate to the Patreon, it's still on there on the Why Date Podcast website. But for right now, all I'm doing right now is Venmo. I'll put the link onto this episode on the YouTube episode. Hope you guys, like I said, like the episode. But I'm putting everything on there. Currently, I am still working on advice, dating coach. I want to have a community where we're having someone giving advice, having some experts on there that's helping people through dating. So I know we typically talk about a lot of funny stuff on our episodes, but I also want to provide some kind of service to everyone who's listening. So get their money's worth for something. It's $5. I'm definitely not going to raise the price because I haven't done much with my Patreon. But I still have a Venmo on there. It's going to be on there. But I will put the link down here. You can kind of see it. And just so you guys know, I appreciate you guys joining in and tuning into our episode thus far, listening to all our stuff. But yeah, that is it for you guys. I will post more things on my Patreon. Like I said, I'll still put the exclusive content, the post episode on there, the audio form. I can't really put the video on there. For some strange reason, Patreon won't let me do it. It's too big of a file. But that's what I want to have on there, guys. And that is it. That's all I have to say. But please subscribe too, as well, on the YouTube channel if you guys haven't done so already. But that is it, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in and enjoy the rest of your day.